Hello everyone, in this video we are just going to see an overview of the hardware development board that we are going to use throughout this real-time operating course, and also we are just going to get all the documentations required for referring in this particular video series. Let's get started. So the hardware that we are going to use is the Nucleo F446RE development board from ST Microelectronics. So first document that we are going to download is the user manual of Nucleo F446RE. So in the first link that is popping out, you can see the www.st.com. You can just go to this particular link and you can directly download this particular user manual of the F446RE development board. So this is the development board that we are going to use in our tutorial series for demonstrating and implementing RTOS onto STM32F446RE microcontroller. But the thing is, you can just use the same set of code that we are developing in this tutorial series to any STM32F4 series microcontroller. Irrespective of the series, you can just use the F4 series microcontroller with the same code. But if you are opting for F1 or F0 based microcontroller of ST Microelectronics, you can just, or you just want to make a slight alteration of the code that you can understand while we are going on through this course step by step. And regarding the development board, right over here we have a reset button which is useful for resetting the microcontroller program. This is a hard reset. And we have a user push button which will help you to utilize this particular push button, which is connected to PC13 port pin of the microcontroller. And we have an onboard LED which is connected to PA5, and these details you can find in this particular Nucleo F446RE development board user manual. So you just want to download this particular user manual, and along with this we have an ST-Link circuitry which will help you to debug or flash a code onto this microcontroller right over here. So with the help of this circuit, that is the ST-Link circuit, you can just dump the flash that you have written in your Cube IDE onto this microcontroller right over here. So that is very much simple for developing a project from scratch. So you can use this development board for learning purpose and also for in a development phase of a project. Later you can go on for a custom made board. So this is an overview of the hardware that we are going to use, and this is the relevant document for that. Just download this document contains the required information for this Nucleo F446RE development board, which is common for Nucleo 64 development board. And the next thing that we are going to download is the Cortex-M generic user guide. So this Cortex-M generic user guide guides you with the common peripherals among the ARM Cortex-M processor, not related to the ST Microelectronics or Texas Instruments or NXP Semiconductors, but this is relevant to the ARM Cortex-M4 processor. So there are peripherals which will be common among all the microcontrollers which is built over ARM Cortex-M processor. So those kinds of peripherals such as SysTick, NVIC, that is the Nested Vector Interrupt Controller, all these are common among all the ARM Cortex-M processor, and for accessing and configuring those peripherals you can refer this particular user guide. So I'm just going to open this documentation. I'm going to download this. You can see we will be having peripherals like system timer, system control register, Nested Vector Interrupt Controller, etc. So this is common for all the controllers which is built over ARM Cortex-M processor. The next thing that we are going to download is STM32F446RE user manual, and this particular reference manual or user manual is nothing but a detailed description of all the peripheral registers of the microcontroller STM32F446RE. If you are working on a different microcontroller like STM32F411RE or TC, you can just type in the name in the Google to get the required documentation. This will be a long document because it contains almost all the peripheral registers in detail for that particular microcontroller. So for configuring a peripheral with the register level, you can use this particular document. I'm just downloading this. And the next thing that we want to download here is STM32F446RE datasheet. So this particular datasheet is nothing but a document which contains a block diagram of the microcontroller with all the internal buses, peripherals connected to the microcontroller, that is particularly to the processor inside the microcontroller. And you can use this particular document for identifying the buses to which each peripheral registers of the microcontroller is connected. And also you can get to know the address of each peripherals and address or starting address and ending address of each buses of this particular microcontroller. So to exactly identify those details, you can use this data sheet. I'm just downloading this, and that's all about the documentation required for starting off with this particular course. I have just downloaded 4 documents. One is the Nucleo user manual, STM32F446RE user manual, and the same microcontroller STM32F446RE datasheet. And following that, we have downloaded the ARM Cortex M4 generic user guide. So these 4 documents are mandatory for understanding each and every peripheral and each and every part of this microcontroller. Just download these documents and keep it. So we will go on step by step in the future videos. I hope you learned something new in this video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.